Welcome to Beyond Transcendence with Andrew. I'm your host, Andrew Wilson. On today's show, I have Brigitte Visser, a soul empowerment coach, a divine channel, and light language healer, delivering messages from the many light beings to aid of humanity, in the hope that people will awaken to what life is all about. Brigitte taps into the timeless wisdom of the ancients, drawing from a wellspring of inner knowledge amassed over a lifetime. Though tested by her own trials, she has chosen to rise above, emerging as a beacon of light. Brigitte now channels this hard-won wisdom to uplift and inspire others. Her profound insights remind us of the strength we hold within, even in our most difficult moments. Like the ancients, Brigitte has discovered that true power comes not by avoiding our struggles, but by meeting them with courage. Please welcome Brigitte Visser. Welcome to the show, Brigitte.
Hey, Andy. Thanks for having me.
So tell me about your spiritual journey. What brought you to spirituality?
It's a really quick to the point question, isn't it? Gosh. Well, I mean, don't we all go through life's twists and turns and its journey, you know? We maneuver ourselves through it. I mean, we go through, many of us that are on this path have gone through a lot of trauma and a lot of very harsh experiences. And, you know, it was the same for me. I signed up for this, as we all do, but we just forget. Yeah, we forget that we forget because we come in cold turkey. And we have to find our way in this world. And I always call it's like an insane asylum. It's like a jungle. You know, we have to get rid of the drip feed, the illusion, and hop over the fence, you know, escape the insane asylum, because there's so much more to life out there. But we don't always get that, because when we are in our experiences, you know, and it started with me in childhood, it's like we're stuck. And because we weren't taught forgiveness, we weren't taught understanding and compassion. And our parents did the best they could. People are at their own level of awareness and their own level of understanding. And we always fire off bullets. And I did the same, you know, it's like, why is this person doing that to me? Why did they do that to me? And, you know, I was a doormat. And so for me, my dad was very spiritual, but he passed in 1988 when I was 14, which makes me ancient. Yes, I know. But, it really, through life experiences and all the things that I went through, that's how I, you know, delved into spirituality and delved into understanding myself better, because I really wanted to heal from my trauma as a kid, and everything that I went through in life. And, you know, for people, I'll sum it up in a nutshell for you. So I was abused as a child by a friend and family. I was starving myself at an early age already, throwing away my lunch. But at the dinner table, I was eating really nicely. And I lost my dad when I was 14. And I was I'm still really tall, 5'11", and I was super skinny, and I was bullied in high school. And so that really dents a person's confidence. And then I tried my hand in the modeling industry. My mom put me on a course, and what happened was that didn't elevate my confidence. I was still walking around with the weight of the world on my shoulders because I didn't heal. And I think, you know, Andrew, the 1980s were very much a different time era than, you know, the times that we live in now. People are, yes, they are more open than back then. And I just had to, you know, walk my way through it, through life. And I think, in my 30s, that's when I started to heal. And it's still a continuous journey. I still get experiences thrown my way, but yes, my guides, one of my guides says, Brigitte, just sit, silence, breathe. Yeah. Become the observer. Do not react. Just take a step back and think about it. And, what is this experience teaching you? It's not why is it happening to me, but why is this happening for me? So that's, a lot of the things that I've learned. But, all the trauma that I've been through, it was like, yeah, I didn't come here with a cheat sheet. So it was really about me finding my way, and Reiki was my saving grace. So that was the first thing I studied. And then I studied a whole lot of other modalities, healing modalities. And really, whatever healing modality you choose, it's all about recovering that light within ourselves, right? Because we've become so conditioned to live a certain way in this paradigm, and we become so rigid. It's incredible. And I was the same. And I'm still learning. Really, I am still learning. And I think for many people, even this year and last year has been tough because there's so much surfacing, so many old wounds surfacing. And actually, that's a beautiful thing. And it's saying, please do not whack-a-mole me. Please, please, please. I want to be healed. And yeah, that's the thing. I also had to sit down with my demons in my head and talk it out with them and embrace them, because what we do not alchemize, I call that alchemization. What we don't heal, it remains. And so we get a kink in our energy field, and, it becomes a dis-ease. We become at a dis-ease within ourselves, and it vibrates out into our environment. That's just the law of cause and effect.
I agree. Yeah, no, I'm still learning myself. I have voices telling me, I'm assuming they're my guides, but they tell me a lot of stuff that I have to be prepared for, about like family members and friends, and their time is coming, and I have to accept it. So I'm learning myself to relinquish control and just letting go, because I myself struggled with trauma too, because I was bullied, and a lot of my teachers told me I wasn't going to amount to anything. So
really? Did they say that as a teacher?
Yes.
I mean, that's not exactly being a role model, but I guess it, as I always say, Andrew, it says more about them and actually how they feel about themselves, and they project their insecurities and their anger on someone like you.
Unfortunately, I was the target for a lot of things, but I also made it so that because of what I've done in my past life. So I've learned to accept that. And I'm doing a meditation every day with binaural beats that just tells me to empty my mind, because I have that clutter inside my head that's always coming out, because I finally decided to do something for myself, because I've always worked for other people, but I got tired of being a punching bag and a number. So I took it upon myself to move away from that type of industry and get into podcasting and QHHT. I love to work with quantum healing, so I do that as well.
So, but that's face to face, right? QHHT, absolutely. Because that's Dolores Cannon, and
yes,
and a friend of mine does it. She, a good friend of mine, and I said, but why can't you do it via Zoom? I said, because you live in the middle of nowhere, and it should just be, we should get with the times. And she's like, yeah, no, we have to do it face to face.
The unfortunate part is, say if someone comes into a death scene and you're not there, you can't really alleviate their stress and their discomfort.
Yep.
So that's the only reason we can't do it by Zoom.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Because there's a lot of traumatic experiences that people will endure because their subconscious wants them to see that, so they heal.
Yeah. It's like a beautiful form of healing.
It is, yeah. I love doing it. It helps me as well. It's like it's healing me, because I'm starting to learn that I have abilities that I didn't think I had. And there was a gentleman who pointed it out yesterday and said, you have a gift and you need to start expressing it and enjoying it. So
yes, and that's the journey, isn't it? It's the journey.
Yeah. Yeah. And I've learned a lot, and just about like dealing with people, and like people are going to be reactive. And my biggest struggle is I get reactive as well, because I still have those demons that I'm still working through.
It's okay.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of healing. And again, that's the beauty of the journey. And people, I'm not a figure of authority. For the first time several days ago, I actually saw one of my guides. And I was doing this meditation, and they're amazing, Andrew. They're on YouTube, and it's called I think they're called Divine Light Guided Meditations with Ophinia and Sakal. I think you would really like them. They're guided meditations, so anything from working with the archangels to the galactics, the Sirians, the Pleiadians, but their core of grounding and reaching out to source and the cosmos is so powerful. And just sitting in that meditation, it takes you away. And I saw, and that was just, I was in awe. I'm like, who is this? And it was a Chinese guy, very, very ancient, very much in pale blue, neatly trimmed, long beard, very well dressed. And he just said, Brigitte, it's time to integrate. And off he walked on his little wooden clogs, and I just followed him. And then the voice of the guided meditation came back, and I thought, sugary banana, now he's gone.
That's neat, though. That's cool that you got to experience that.
Yeah, because I've never been very visual. I don't know if you're very visual.
I'm very visual. I see things before when I think them, and sometimes I'll just see them before I speak them, and I don't even know why. And it just pops into my head randomly.
Wow.
Yeah. So
that's different.
It is, yeah. It's a blessing, but also a curse at times too, because it can get me into trouble. So with your Reiki, what have you noticed with your clients for healing? What have they noticed?
Well, that was a long time ago. So when I started off with Reiki, you see, I mean, it's universal energy, and of course, the Reiki symbolism comes from Atlantean times. Mm-hmm. And when I started, it was my saving grace. It was so much self-healing for me as well. And, I did level 1 and 2 in the space of, I think, 1.5 years, not in the space of a weekend like people do these days. But, we had to do proper self-healing and then also have case studies for level 2. But I realized that it really balanced me out at the time. Now I do light language. I love light language. I love connecting to the galactics. And I never thought when I saw people do that, for instance, I was like, oh my God, how do they speak that language? And then somebody told me, Brigitte, but you have this ability in you. I said, yeah, in my head. I said, but I can't. It doesn't come out. But eventually it's like, it doesn't matter what ability you have in you. It's like, your car is in the MOT. You're in the MOT and the tools are there, but you just need to learn to fine tune yourself. Yeah. And use the correct tools for it.
It's amazing, what our guides will tell us, and like how we can program our bodies.
Yes.
To unprogram what we learn, to reprogram what we need to learn.
Yes.
And that's what I'm starting to realize too, with just everything I've learned in school, everything I learned in life. It was just one big test. And
yes.
It's brought me to this new way of living and this new form of spirituality, to understand that people are going to transition, and they're transitioning regardless if I can stop it or not. And that's the part of the things that we don't understand is we have to mourn those, but we really don't have to mourn those people, because those people are still always going to be with us.
Yes.
Regardless.
And that's one of the things, you're right. There is no death. Because we're energy anyways, but the soul that graduates, right, is jumping for joy up there. it's really happy. And here we are and we're crying and they don't want us to be sad. I mean, yes, some people really coddle their grief and they can't get past it. But I always say to other people, they're never gone. Imagine them to be in the room next door. They can see you, but you can't see them. And that's only because of our level of consciousness.
Yeah. I feel my mother, she transitioned in 2021, and that was my awakening. That was the whole idea of me becoming awakened, was because I didn't listen when I was 27 and I fell off a chairlift and I survived a 35-foot fall. But I didn't listen then. Yeah, I didn't listen then. So they're like, okay, well, we're going to take your mom's going to go and we're going to wake you up that way. So that's what happened. And it was neat because I was doing a guided meditation with Sadhguru. And I got to talk to my mother and she told me she was very proud of me. And I got to see her in like a form of energy, but she was like really skinny. And then she started to glow purple and she gave me a hug. And so I feel her here all the time.
Yeah,
and
that's
I know
beautiful.
she's never gone. And I've learned that if we hold on to our parents, our loved ones, or if we continue to mourn them, we keep them here. We don't allow them to leave.
We do. So, yeah. But growing up, you don't understand that. But I think as we do get older, I'm like you said, many people are awakening as well. But yeah, people start to understand it more.
Yeah, and that's the biggest thing. Like, I think more people are going to wake up and they're going to see a totally different version of themselves that they're not used to seeing. And I think there's going to be a lot of chaos and a lot of confusion. And I was told by my guides that I'm supposed to be there to support them. And I'm sure you're in the same area as like just waiting for the great awakening to happen. And when it does, we're going to be there to support and give them answers.
Yes. And in the meantime, we just keep working on ourselves and, paving the way.
Absolutely.
And I've met many people say this to me, many healers and mediums is like, why we are not that busy. But I said, you need to, you're here right now to work on yourself. Mm-hmm. Because when that wave comes, people will need us. And that's okay.
I don't mind that. I like I really enjoy helping people. I've learned to not someone tells me I'm a good leader, but I don't feel like I'm a good leader. I feel like I'm just here to help people to understand themselves and to facilitate their form of healing. And I just kind of sit back and learn more and more each time I do a session. I feel like something new is brought to my attention each time I do a session.
Yeah.
Which is the cool part.
Yeah. I always say it's important to remember that we are here to remember our divinity. We are here to remember that we are love. We are here to remember that we are frequency and that we are divine alchemists and that what we think, what we envision in our mind, we create and it comes to fruition because that is how powerful we are. But we've been deviated so much by so much garbage in the world, that it's like we're lost. And if we didn't have all this, if you went back to basics, even when we went back to the 1980s, we lived a far more heart-centered life than all the me right now. And, people are so absorbed within themselves. You hop on a train, on a bus, or you go to a restaurant, and what are people do? You really think people are talking to one another? It's all electronics. I always observe that.
Yeah. No, I totally get it. It's like you go somewhere, it's like a restaurant even, and it's like people don't talk to each other anymore. They're just kind of like amongst each other, just sitting on the phone with the head down, just like not communicating.
I know. It's terrible.
Yeah. But it's our own fault, right? Because we got so complacent with technology because technology does everything. And once AI is fully operational, then it's going to be a different ball game altogether.
Yes.
But what I've learned about AI is not to fear AI because we are AI, right? Our bodies are not, they're just machines. And our souls are the energy that's in it. Well, AI is no different than us. there's still the spark in them.
Yes, correct.
So I used to fear AI, and I used to think it was going to be like this end of the world
No,
nonsense. Yeah.
it just
And
depends how you use it. It's really,
exactly.
yeah.
So how do you feel about AI?
To be truthful, I mean, like I said, I don't really use it. I sometimes use AI, not ChatGPT, but another free tool. If I cannot figure out a sentence or how to formulate it, then I will just use it and it just rewrites it for me, which is perfect.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, I don't use it. And you know what it is? I live so much in my own little cosmic bubble that I don't often realize what goes on outside in the world.
Mm.
Yeah. And there are often people that will ask me, "Hey, Brigitte, how do you feel about this? Oh, what's going to happen in the world?" And I said, "Look, it doesn't matter what's going to happen in the world." I said, "What's going on in your world? What are you doing to make changes in your own world? Because if you make changes in your own world, it has a ripple effect."
Totally. I agree 100%. So what could you offer the audience listening today for guidance and wisdom for those who are brand new to spirituality or just stuck?
Stuck.
Yeah.
Stuck. We are stuck. Yeah. It's funny because I wrote about this. We're often stuck because of our belief system.
Mm.
Yeah. And what we don't understand because we're so stuck in our ego, it's
Mm-hmm.
like, again, it's having that compassion and understanding and that love for others and just accepting them as they are. Yeah, we all vibrate at different levels of consciousness. And for those that are just starting out with spirituality or are kind of like, as you said, stuck or lost, it's like just sit with yourself. And it doesn't matter where you are in life or what you've done, just embrace where you're at and accept where you're at this point in time. Yeah, and move forward from wherever you are. There's no magic wand. Yeah, to change your life, you really have to get up and do the work. And it's funny because a lot of people in the past said to me, well, you can call upon this and this archangel and they will help you. Well, listen to this. I call upon Archangel Michael. And what do you think? Yeah, he's all about facing your fears and having the courage. So what they do, and as you know with you guys as well, they will push you into your fears because you have to walk through the darkness. There is no skirting around it. You want change, you've got to walk through it. And so, I mean, for me, I love meditation. I think it's great. Breathwork is great because we shallow breathe so much. And because we shallow breathe and we don't breathe deeply, it's like we very much live on the surface of ourselves, on the superficial part that we believe ourselves to be, because that is, we've created an identity. Yeah, that is not our true soul essence because that's heavily cloaked. But meditation helps, breath work, and do your own research, whatever aligns with your spirit. That is the most important thing. Just because I have certain healing modalities that I help people with doesn't mean it resonates with others, and that's okay. Yeah. But in order to heal, you have to take responsibility for your life. You have to take that accountability, because at the end of the day, you can point all the fingers that you like. They did this and they did that. But what if I were to hold up a mirror to your face and you're pointing fingers? Who are you pointing at? You're pointing at yourself. Yeah, because nobody makes you feel inferior without your consent. You allow it because we often give our power away. That's what we do. It's like, oh my gosh. It's like, take back your I am power. Yeah, stand in your divine sovereign birthright and live your life rather than allowing yourself to be lived.
That's beautiful. I love it. Well, this has been a wonderful conversation, Brigitte, and I'm so happy to have met you, and I wish you nothing but success and much love to you.
Thank you so much, Andrew. It was lovely to speak to you.
And that's our show for today. I hope you can understand the deeply transformative conversation with Brigitte Visser today. We've explored the powerful themes of trauma, healing, and self-discovery, along with the importance of meditation, guides, and the healing practices of Reiki and light language. Brigitte's insight reminds us that healing is a continuous journey, one that requires embracing our own divine essence and taking personal responsibility for our path. As you move forward, I encourage you to reflect on her words and remember that you have the power to create your own transformation. Thank you for tuning in. I look forward to sharing more enlightened conversations with you. Until next time, stay connected, stay present. And once again, I leave my email, btwa2024@gmail.com. If you would kindly leave a review on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or even my YouTube channel, I would greatly appreciate it. If not, that's quite all right too. I hope everyone has a wonderful day and evening, and much love to all of you. Bye-bye.